I'm Mike,
And I'm Matt.
and this is The Coin Show.
Take just one last breath before you enter. Take the look.
On this episode of The Coin Show, Matt talks about market grading. I'm going to talk about the proof sets of 1936 through 1942, and we'll talk about the coolest thing that walked into Matt's shop this week. But first, as always, the news. Sharpen your numismatic skills by taking the American Numismatic Association School of Numismatics educational two-day seminars held prior to the 60th Annual Fund Convention in Orlando, Florida. Fundamentals of Grading U.S. Coins and Introduction to Counterfeit Detection of United States Coins will be held on Tuesday and Wednesday, January 6th and 7th. Tuition for the seminars is $248 for ANA and Fund members and $348 for non-members. For more information and to register online, go to money.org. The 2014 America the Beautiful circulating coin set is now available.
Circulating.
The circulating coin set, that's right. The United States Mint released the set November 13th at a price of $5.95. It's a modern collector's dream, kind of. Included are the P and D examples of each of the America the Beautiful quarters for 2014. That would include Great Smoky Mountains, which is Tennessee, Shenandoah, which is Virginia, Arches in Utah, Great Sand Dunes in Colorado, and Everglades National Parks, which is Florida. Now, since it appears that some of these coins actually do circulate, the America the Beautiful ones, but they certainly aren't as common as the statehood quarters were,
No.
this vehicle is a great way to obtain nice BU examples for any set that, collectors are assembling. As per usual, I have a small complaint, and I really wish the U.S. Mint would kind of get on this, and that's that, here, my complaint, it is something that really bothers me, is why don't you include the S-Mint uncirculateds that are only sold to collectors in rolls and bags?
It's not a bad idea.
Well, here's the thing, is that you make these coins for collectors.
Wait. I know exactly why. It's because if they don't include it in this product, then you'll just have to go and buy another product to get it. It's marketing.
Here's the thing. You're selling the mint sets, okay? And I get it that, some people don't want to buy mint sets and break them up at $35 a pop. I get that. And maybe it might be, even to some kids or some really lower budget collectors, cost prohibitive to be buying mint sets just to complete your, America the Beautiful quarter set. But this is called a circulating set.
Yeah.
So you should have all the circulating coins.
Yeah, those technically aren't circulating, though, see? They don't
What type of strike are they?
I don't get me wrong. I understand they're exactly the same. They're just minted somewhere else, but they're not circulating because you have to special order them from the government.
Okay, if you go back to 1979 when they brought out the Susan B's, right?
Yeah.
If you want a P, a D, and an S, okay, and you buy a mint set, you're going to be disappointed because there's no S minted Susie B in the mint set. Now, the mint got wise to that in 1980 and 81, and they included the S mint Susie B's with that. However, and I'm sure you've seen them, they have these Susan B sets.
The souvenir ones?
Yeah, the souvenir sets.
Yep.
And they have a P and a D and an S in them, and they're uncirculated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what the harm would be in including those with these. It's like if you make the uncirculateds specifically for collectors, then include them in this set. It only makes sense.
Well, it might make sense to you, but like I said, I think it's just marketing. I think they want you to order as many products as that you have to order from them.
I think
So,
it's bad marketing.
I can't. I
Because
didn't say one way or the other if it was good or bad.
yeah,
It's
well,
marketing.
my issue with it is that I was thinking that $35 for a mint set might be cost prohibitive, which doesn't have the S mints in it anyway. But so you're going to tell me that you're going to buy a whole roll of S mints
Apparently,
or a bag, even worse.
yeah. Or you're just going to get them from your local dealer.
Now I get your angle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't sell
Do
them.
you have any in your shop?
No, I don't sell those darn things. But
So if you live in Indianapolis, you can't get them from your local dealer.
yeah, I will look at you funny
because he poo-poos these things.
I'm just saying. I will politely tell you that we do not carry them, and then I'll look at you funny.
Numismatic News reported this week that the shipping for the 2012 Kennedy silver sets was fast, and that although collectors were very happy with the timeline, they were astonished and stunned by their rapid delivery.
Yes, I have some already.
Yeah, sales the first 5 days totaled just over 125,000 sets, and the Mint had pre-produced 190,000 sets. And many of these were shipped the same day that the orders were placed. The Mint plans to release a maximum of 300,000 of these sets. It appears that the shipping is going to be almost simultaneous because even for 300,000 is not like a large mintage. If the set was going to sell out, it probably already would have.
It's hard to say. It's coming up on the holiday season.
See, I've been intrigued by the sets because I like the different finishes. I like the fact that there is a 90% coin that came out of Denver in uncirculated finish. But, I don't know. I'm not, there's nothing that really compels me to do this. If you're a really big Kennedy half collector, then I would think that this is something that you have to have. But I guess we're going to find out if there is a total of 300,000 Kennedy half collectors and speculators.
Yeah, like I said, I've already got some in the shop. So
yeah, well, the other thing is that when I see them on TV, one of the things that kind of really gets me going is when you see them on TV graded in NX slabs, which means now you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yes.
He had
rare
2,000 of them. He had 2,000 of them slabbed. Now it's like that means he bought 2,000 of these sets.
Yep.
So I don't think the distribution is going to be really big, but I think that everybody who wants one will probably go to the Mint to buy them.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I sure hope that feller ends up with 1,900 of them left.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be great.
Be awesome.
Then he'd have over 1,900 rare, the rarest. As an aside, I think it speaks well of the U.S. Mint and their newly reconfigured online ordering website.
Yeah, I checked it out. It's pretty stinking neat.
Yeah, the real test will be the next time that they issue something that creates a real demand, though. Kind of like the 2011 25th anniversary Silver Eagle set.
Yes.
It's something that just absolutely shut down the site. When they do something like that next, then we'll find out how good it is. But so far...
Well, with those gold Kennedys, they had that cool waiting room set up, so they didn't bog down the website. They just had you kind of sit there and wait until it was your turn to order them.
Now, was that after their new website launched?
I don't know if it... That's a good
question. Maybe that's part of them testing,
Yeah, but it definitely, you just sat there and it gave you a timer and said, in this amount of time, it'll be your turn to order.
And kudos to the U.S. Mint for doing that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. They've been accepting orders online for a long time. They have been driving their orders to the online site.
Yeah.
Now they've actually got a site that can handle it. And hey, 2 thumbs up.
Rock on.
The U.S. Mint has run out of silver American Eagles again.
I heard this.
Yes, October's sales of over 5.7 million silver American Eagles are the highest selling month of 2014. the dropping price of silver may be responsible for the jump in sales. Do you
I,
buy monster boxes?
I haven't lately because the price is so stinking high, but
But are
I've
you an
actually
authorized
no.
purchaser?
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I purchase from an authorized purchaser, but
Right, but you're not one of the authorized purchasers.
no.
My thing is that if the prices are dropping and they have stock, people are going to expect the lower price, so I just don't expect them to order. But then again, I've never really quite had the
Well,
mentality for
to
doing
put
this.
this,
Put a fine point on it for us,
yes, I
please.
will. There was an authorized purchaser recently at a show that I was at, and they were selling the Silver Eagles retail at $3 over spot. So,
Which is likely less than he paid.
I didn't ask, but it's possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's metal. Move it, turn it, get on to more, and
Yep.
you know, maybe
Yep.
that's just the smart way of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
Just move on.
Just
You make money when it goes up.
yep.
Hopefully, you're not sitting on a ton of them when it goes down, and it's definitely going down.
It's definitely going down, though it did have a nice little bump last week, at the end of the week.
Nobody knows when the U.S. Mint will cut off sales for this year's coins. Last year, the final sales occurred in December,
Yep.
and I thought it was really interesting that CoinNews.net is reporting that the Mint has already produced some 2015 coins in preparation for next year's launch.
Yeah, I think that they may have just run out of silver, to be honest with you.
I don't know. But they stopped producing the 2015 coins when demand picked up for the 2014 coins. So that says to me that they will make more 2014 coins.
We shall see.
Yep, only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
And if not, they're still never going to be rare. So
They've made, what, 39 million of them so far this
they
year?
have made just an absolute crap ton.
Yes.
A metric crap ton.
Oh, I think it's more than a metric crap ton.
Yeah, they've made 39.301 million of them so far.
Yeah.
And that's only with November being the lowest sales month at 1.26 million. But November's young yet. So we'll see if they make more. And if not, 39 million versus 39 million's a lot.
That's a lot of coins.
That's a lot of coins.
Yes.
But it makes a nickel rare. The Royal Mint has released a 2-coin set to mark the 50th anniversary of the death of Sir Winston Churchill.
Oh, hopefully they got this one better than the Churchill crown that they issued in the 60s.
Well, here's the thing, and it's funny that you should mention that because the coin is dated 2015 already,
Mm-hmm.
and is brilliant uncirculated 5-pound coin, and is paired with an original 1965 memorial crown in the set.
I think that is one of the ugliest coins ever made. Just saying.
Okay, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion on it.
I just wanted to put that out there. My personal opinion is the 1965 Churchill crown is ugly.
Well, the Coin Week story, which
But
is
Winston wasn't a looker himself, I guess. So.
well, it's that cigar, and whatever. He's a face for radio. Um, anyway, so the point is that I don't know where they're getting the 1965 coins for the set, or if they're recreating them.
I would guess that there's a bunch of those coins out there. I'm sure that if they wanted to find them, they could go out and buy them all. I mean, you can buy them in pretty much any dealer's junk box for 50 cents or $1 a piece.
Okay, well, maybe they are. They're going out and buying original coins again, because when originally issued in 1965, the coin became a classic. And so my intuition kind of told me that this was a reissue and not old coins, included in the set. But the literature on the set says that it is paired with an original Winston Churchill 1965 memorial crown. Winston Churchill was a very interesting man, despite not being the greatest looking guy.
Yes.
He served as prime minister to Great Britain twice, won a Nobel Prize in literature, was knighted by Queen Elizabeth, and became the first honorary citizen of the United States by act of Congress.
Huh.
I didn't know about the honorary citizen part.
I didn't either.
This set has a limited edition of 5,000 coins. So $5,000, that's a pretty sizable mintage.
Yeah, especially for a UK coin, I would think.
Yeah, for something may or may not appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And finally, in the news, the American Numismatic Society will present a seminar on forgery basics at the San Francisco Historical Bourse in December of this year. The seminar will feature presentations by Dr. Yuta Wartenberg, Executive Director of the ANS, and David Hendon, who's the ANS Adjunct Curator, and will be followed by a panel discussion. Now, according to CoinWeek.com, Dr. Wartenberg has said that the seminar will discuss the various levels of forgeries and the similarities in manufacture between forgeries of ancient and modern coins and currency. She added that they will begin to introduce various techniques for detecting forgeries, many of which collectors can take advantage. So they're going to educate people on, how they make them and what the similarities are in the way that they're made, and then give you some information that you can use, which is always kind of nice.
I will never poo-poo knowledge. I think
No.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the reason we do this, isn't it?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. John Jensick, owner of the San Francisco Historical Bourse, is quoted as saying that he was delighted that this presentation will have a practical orientation for collectors and will go beyond only ancient coins. So I believe that they're going to talk about ancient coins and the counterfeiting of ancient coins. Do you deal in many ancients? I know that you at one point were giving away, handfuls of them.
Yeah. No, I actually, over the last a couple of years, I've actually taught myself how to do ancients just because we did see them coming in, and when we get coins coming in the door, I like to know what I'm looking at just because it's my job. So,
see, I would think that because of the nature of the beast, because they were made with much cruder means, that they would be much easier to counterfeit.
They are, and there are lots of counterfeits of ancients. There's, they actually, I can't remember the website off the top of my head, but there is a website out there that catalogs the counterfeit dies. So you kind of if you think your coin may be counterfeit, you actually can go to the website and compare it with coins of that same ruler and see if any of the exact dies that what made yours are out there. So,
yeah. And although ancients are going to be a primary, or at least a main focus to this seminar, they have said that it is not going to be the only focus.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I hope that they cover more modern stuff because that's, obviously ancient, there are some very expensive coins in there too, but I think the market is much larger for more modern pieces.
Yes. But I would think that the intimate knowledge needed for detection is probably much more needed in the world of ancients.
Yeah, I agree.
You can find these and other news stories from the coin world on our website at coinshowradio.com. Just click on News on the top bar for our RSS news feed. Matt.
Yes, sir.
There has been a discussion posted on one of the forums that was kind of a prelude to the subject that you're going to do tonight. And I want to ask you did any of it really come in handy? Any of the discussion?
Yeah, it helped me to kind of shape my already conceived notion slightly as to what market grading is. And this is actually a topic I've wanted to cover for a very long time.
It's a difficult subject.
It's a very difficult subject to cover without being able to stand in front of somebody and show them examples, with their own eyes.
Well, that's true.
So we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
So market grading, you hear that phrase and you kind of, some people have an idea of what it is. Some people have no idea what it is.
But everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, that's funny, but yeah. Market grading is a type of coin grading that emphasizes the market value of a certain coin over its actual technical grade. This type of grading has actually become relatively common in recent years and is really practiced by all the grading companies. It does show itself in a number of different ways, which hopefully I can discuss in this segment, and we can open your eyes a little bit to market grading.
Well, hopefully you can open my eyes a little bit to it, because my opinion of it has been relatively constant over the years,
Which is?
and I'm pretty much against it. My idea is that if you're going to use the value of a coin to influence its grade, then you're not valuing the coin correctly.
Well, the cool thing is it's not necessarily just the value of the coin, but it's also certain things like strike characteristics of certain coins from certain mints and certain dates that can also be taken into account when it comes to market grading.
Okay, well, I've never really thought of those as aspects of market grading,
Yeah.
but rather as aspects of grading itself.
Well,
And the example that I've always been taught is like with Morgan dollars, that you grade Carson City Morgans differently than you grade New Orleans dollars.
yeah. Well, like for example, here's a decent example, and I'll kind of explain to you my thinking about it. 1880s Morgans. These coins come proof-like. They come deep mirror proof-like. It is not hard to find an example of an 1880s Morgan with proof-like surfaces.
As a matter of fact, it's probably more unusual to find one that doesn't.
Yes, that's actually true. So the thing is, to gain a deep mirror proof-like grade on an 1880s Morgan is actually harder because that particular coin comes nice. So for other dates, if your coin looks very similar to a coin from a different date, the coin from the other date might be called a dimple because the deep mirror proof likes don't come on that date, whereas the 1880s might just be called a PL.
Right.
So,
and like I said, with me, it's just seems to be more of a black and white thing, and it's probably because I'm just kind of a rigid thinker.
yep.
But I just think that in the example of 1880s Morgans, you should just have huge populations in DMPL.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
Because that's the way most of them are struck. But they do this to kind of, help the market.
Yep. So to understand market grading a little better, we really need to look back at how coin grading has evolved over the years. When coin collecting began in the mid 19th century and early 20th century, most coin collectors really did not care about the condition of the coins because a lot of the times they were buying these coins at just a little bit more than face value. So the historic value or rarity of the actual coin itself mattered quite a bit more than just the condition of the coin. And this changed in the market boom of the 1940s. And in the 1950s, William Sheldon designed a system for grading coins in which each coin could be graded on a scale from 1 to 70. And this obviously is the system that we stick to this day. It gets a little bit different because he believed that coins could be assigned a market value based on a mathematical equation. Each coin had a basal value, and then the grade of the coin multiplied this basal value to give you a fair market price. So, for example, if you had a 1794 large cent and its grade was determined to be a 20, the basal value of this particular coin would have been, say, $2, and then you would just multiply 2 by 20, and at that point your coin was worth $40.
Yep. And that works really, really well if your prices are symmetrical. If your pricing from low grade to high grade is symmetrical, that works.
Yeah. Not necessarily the case, though. Now, grading on this older system was actually a lot tougher than it is today. The old Sheldon system, would see coins that were excellent with their luster and their color, and they only had a very slight rub. They would grade, say, a 50. Now, today, the same coin might be a 58 or even a low-end mint state coin. And the question begs to be asked, well, why is this? And the answer to that question is gradeflation. We still use the same numerical Sheldon scale, but it's evolved over the years. And our good friend Q. David Bowers refers to this in numerous books as gradeflation. Basically, as more people have entered our hobby, the desire for nice coins in certain grades has continued to increase, while the grading system itself has expanded to become more specific and satisfy the need of the market.
Yes, because in your Sheldon scale, I think there was just MS60 and MS65, right?
Yes, originally. I mean, more grades were added later. And so at this point, I kind of wanted to give some examples where, people may be able to grasp a little bit better with an example. So let's say we have two Morgan silver dollars. We'll call them dollar A and dollar B. Dollar A is a truly uncirculated coin with no wear. It has quite a bit of bag marks, but this is perfectly acceptable because the coins were stored in bags. The luster does have some breaks, but it is apparent. And if you sent this coin to a grading company today, it would grade MS60 to MS61. And this would be just for the large amount of bag marks. Now, dollar B is an attractive coin. The surfaces are free of distracting marks. The luster is strong. The coin appears to be uncirculated, but under close examination, the high points show just a touch of wear. Now, under the old Sheldon system, this coin would be considered AU, but today, when sent to a grading company, this coin comes back as an MS62 because coins this nice, the market has determined, are acceptable as MS62. So this is why grading today is kind of hard because there is this kind of objective eye appeal that has been added to coin grading itself.
And this is just where I classically disagree, but I understand that I'm in the minority.
Yeah,
without question.
Yep. Another example is the case of the 1866 half dimes. Let's say we have a rare 1866S half dime. All the population reports and research says that this coin is very rare in problem-free condition. The coin in question is moderately worn, but all the important details are strong. The surface, however, is kind of a dull white that indicates that it has probably been cleaned at some point. Now, technically, the coin should be considered a details coin because obviously it's been cleaned, but the market is very strong for post-Civil War San Francisco half dimes, so the grading service decides, the coin has details of a VF30. Let's just net grade it down to a VF20, and we'll go ahead and put it in a holder. So that's net grading, and that's another thing that the grading companies do. They don't necessarily acknowledge net grading, but it does happen. Another coin, and this is a personal experience of mine. I was lucky enough or unlucky enough to be able to examine the Eliasberg example of the 1893 S. Morgan. This coin is certified as an NGC MS66, and it was pedigreed, obviously, to Eliasberg. If it was any other coin from any other date, I would be really surprised to see it certified in an MS64 holder. The coin had really kind of ugly, spotty toning. I've always referred to this coin as a Dalmatian because it kind of looked like a Dalmatian. But because it's a very rare coin, the coin was actually uncirculated, it got that grade bump. Not to mention that it came out of a very famous collection.
C-Spot.
Yes.
C-Spot, ruin eye up.
That's funny. We should make a shirt that says that. Another example of where market grading tends to happen a lot is with early copper. Early copper is notorious, just because it's copper, for having corrosion issues. So in the old days, if a coin had some light corrosion, it was just simply called, good details corroded. Today, though, a lot of copper that we see in slabs is corroded but not noted, and that's simply because the market accepts a certain amount of corrosion on copper, especially early copper. So it's one of those that the corrosion is there. It's definitely there, but the market is willing to accept that amount of corrosion on a good or a very good or a fine.
Now, see, here's where I kind of see it, and it really has to do with what the grading service determines to be corrosion of the planchet before it was struck versus corrosion post-strike.
Well,
And they're, I mean, let's face it, they're nearly impossible to determine which is which.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and market grading is one of the things that, because it is just such a strange concept, is so hard to grasp. It can really be difficult for newer collectors because it just adds another confusing layer to the grading onion, if you will.
It confuses the hell out of me,
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
yeah, it does. Luckily for newer collectors, the industry is beginning to recognize that coins, the gradeflation is going on, that market grading is going on, because we have companies like CAC, Certified Acceptance Corporation, and the EAC, which is Early American Coppers. They have started to scrutinize grading of the third-party grading services. CAC, you're able to send in your coins to CAC. They'll take a look at them, and if they think that the coin is solid for the grade, then they'll put their little sticker on it that says, yes, this coin is solid for the grade. And if they think that your coin might have been market graded or is overgraded or just not nice for the grade assigned, then they won't put a sticker on it.
And I think that CAC, although it is a really valuable service and is something that has become accepted by the market, just points out, you want to call it confusion, I'll call it difference among opinions of how coins should be graded.
Well, and that's the thing. And you get the guys like the Early American Coppers guys, they just decided to come up with their own grading.
And they're way, way tougher on them
than
anybody else.
Yes, they're much, much tougher than even the early days of the Sheldon system. So they do a lot of net grading, which is not necessarily a bad thing to net grade a coin. Say you have a coin that has XF40 details, but the coin has some pretty decent corrosion. They would say that the coin is 40 details, but EAC graded a 20 because of the corrosion, or because they use words like scudsy. Scudsy is a term that they use.
And see, I like them and what they do, although I, again, might fundamentally disagree with them as far as how harsh they are on them. But I like the fact that all they're really trying to do is accurately describe the coin.
Yes, accurately describe the coins that they're passionate about, which is Early American Coppers, because they are of the impression that the grading services just don't know what the heck they're talking about. So there are a few tips that have been given by, once again, our friend Q. David Bowers, to kind of deal with market grading in general. And some of these tips you may have heard before. That they do sound very familiar, but some of them you may not have. So the first tip he gives is learn technical grading. This is the kind of grading that you'll find in the books like the A&A Grading Guide. They show you how to grade technically. So you want to get that basic under your belt before you really try to start looking at coins that have been market graded. Because once you know the technical grade, then you can look at a coin and say, okay, well, this coin has been market graded because technically it's an AU58, but it's in an MS62 holder. So maybe you can avoid coins like that and just look for coins that are graded on their technical merits.
Or you can also take that a step further and, if you see something that is consistently market graded, like, for example, your 1880S Morgan, there's a call for you to say, there's a reason for this. And maybe there's an opportunity for you to learn something.
Yep. And the next piece of advice he gives is when examining a coin, grade it for yourself. And just see if the grade that you assign it really jives with what the holder says. And if it does, then guess what? You may have a winner. And one of the things that he says, and I've always agreed with this, but be willing to pay up for nice coins. Price guides are really just that, just guides. If a coin is stunning, absolutely beautiful, it's going to be easier to sell in the future and also going to hold more value than a coin of the same date in the same condition that's a dud. That just is ugly, unattractive, not nice looking.
No two coins are going to be exactly alike. And so you should always pay more for a coin that is a better coin.
Better coins equal more money, unfortunately.
Yep.
The fourth tip he gives was study, study, study. Obviously,
love this too.
We've heard this one a million times. You just want to study as much as you can, read, soak in information from awesome forums like Coin Talk that we are both very fond of. From dealers, from advanced collectors, from really anywhere that you can get a tidbit of information as far as just something that they've learned over the years that they may be willing to impart onto you. That is a piece of information that took them a long time to learn, and if you're astute, then guess what? You may just learn it a lot quicker than they did.
And I'll add this. Don't be afraid to have an opinion. And even better yet, don't be afraid to have your own opinion. As Matt has said a couple of times over the course of this segment, it's like he disagrees with me, and you make your living doing this. So I think that your opinions are better proved out over time, because you literally make your living at it. Mine is more from a purist standpoint, and sometimes I don't have quite as much to either reinforce or back it up. But it's like, just don't be afraid to have your own opinion about it, and go with your gut, and just keep on, buy the coins that appeal to you. If you feel that a coin is overgraded, don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Exactly. Let the dealer sit on it, and then maybe he'll come to realize that this particular coin's overgraded. It happens. And the last tip is a tip that we hear all the time, and that is buy the coin, not the holder. That goes for raw coins. That goes for certified coins. If a dealer's got a coin in a 2x2 and's written all sorts of stuff over it, MS67, super PQ, super flashy. Don't worry about all that crap. Yeah, rare. Don't worry about all that junk. Just use your eyes and your knowledge to tell you if the coin's right for your collection.
Yes. When it comes down to it, it's your collection. And that's the thing that people have to remember, is it's your collection. Buy the stuff that appeals to you. Buy the stuff that you want to own. And don't be afraid to reject something, even if everybody else thinks it's phenomenal.
Yep. So that's what we came up with. Hopefully you guys understand market grading a little bit better than now that we've talked about it. It's definitely not an easy topic to grasp. It took me a long time to kind of grasp it, and it took me talking to people, that have either worked at grading companies or have been partners in grading companies, for that matter, to really understand market grading. So it's not an easy topic. Hopefully you guys have a little bit better grasp on it now, and hopefully you can learn a little something from this segment and take that with you.
Before we did the episode tonight, I put a little note out on Twitter, because I'm always telling people, hey, you might find exclusive content on Twitter.
Okay.
And David McConaughey.
Have a listener question?
It's not a listener question. He just wanted to say at the Coin Show, thanks for the show. Oh. And I wanted to take a minute out of our show to say, thank you, David McConaughey, for listening.
Yes. I actually did a coin show this past weekend, Indiana State, and I ran into several people that said that they liked the show. They were glad that we were back doing it again, and that they had missed us. So I want to take this moment to say thank you guys for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening. Now, since 1838, the United States Mint has issued proof examples of coins that were made specifically for collectors. Proof large cents were coined as early as 1817.
I love them.
With an estimated mintage of 3.
I've seen them. I haven't owned them, but I've seen them.
Other denominations were struck as well, but the cent seemed to be the most common of the early coins. And although most proof coinage was done at the main mint facility in Philadelphia, the New Orleans Mint also struck proof half dollars in 1838 and 39. These and other branch mint proof coins are among some of the most prized proof coins of all time. Now, in the early 20th century, Proof sets of minor coins were sold by the mint, and in 1909, the mint offered coins in a matte finish. Matte proof Lincoln cents and Buffalo nickels are among some of the most prized of all 20th century coins. Proof coin production was halted in 1916, and the U.S. Mint wouldn't strike proof coins again until 1936, when they were offered either as singles or as a complete set of coins from cent through half dollar. Do you like the proof sets of 1936 to 1942, Matt?
I do, actually. I just bought one the other day. I bought a 1942.
1942. The whole, was it a 6-coin set or a 5-coin set?
It was a 6-coin set with both nickels. So.
Both nickels. That's cool.
One of which was rainbow toned. But I digress.
Proof coins production continued from 1936 to 1942 when sales were halted due to America's entry into World War II. Mm-hmm. But the proofs of this vintage include some of the most beautiful U.S. coin designs of all time.
Yes, I agree completely.
Yes, wheat cents, Buffalo nickels.
I looked at a Buffalo nickel today, a proof Buffalo nickel. 1937, proof 65, PCGS. I almost came home with it. I didn't, but I almost did.
Not only those, but Mercury dimes and Walking Liberty halves. You know, the between the wheat cents, the Buffalo nickels, the Mercury dimes, and the Walking Liberty halves. Those are some of the most collected of all 20th century coins. Mm-hmm. And as such, their proof versions and the sets that contain them command really, really hefty prices in the current marketplace.
Yes, they do.
Something that I found interesting is the fact that the manufacture of proof coins prior to World War II was not as high tech as it is today, and as is true more of modern proof coins from the 50s and 60s, the coins were of a much lesser quality than modern collectors have really come to expect. Mm-hmm. You know, cameo coins weren't even a consideration, nor were they something the mint was trying to achieve. You know, dies were changed out individually rather than in pairs, and cameo surfaces, you know, usually only lasted through a few strikes. So often you'll find examples with a really beautiful cameo on one side and a completely brilliant finish on the other.
That's exactly right.
Now you add in poor packaging, you make up for that with poor packaging.
Spotty coins.
Yes, and you get coins that, while beautiful, are often not struck as well as the proof coins we've come to expect.
I have as an aside here, but it adds to what you're saying completely. There's actually a couple of varieties of proof walkers that the designer's initials, the AW, just completely wore off through die wear. So there are examples out there that just the coins don't have the AW on them, and that's from die wear.
In most cases, collectors lack the storage options necessary to preserve the coins, and this has affected the condition of the pieces available now. You know, individual coins that grade higher than proof 65 are indeed rare and bring enormous premiums. Mm-hmm. Proof sets of the 1936 to 1942 era have a face value of 91 cents. Do you know what the sets were sold for, Matt?
It wasn't much. It may have seemed like more back then, but I got to think it was like $2 or less.
It was less. It was $1.89.
See.
Now you want to talk about value. You know, most of these will command a price in the 4-figure range for coins that are well preserved. Mm-hmm. The 1936 set is the most desirable of them all, with a mintage of only 3,837 sets. And the premiums are astronomical in proof 65, as the Lincoln set sells for over $2,000, the Buffalo nickel for over $1,200, the Mercury dime for over $1,000, the Washington quarter, which is the ugly stepsister of the set, at over $1,000, and the Walker at nearly $3,000.
Yeah, 36 sets are really tough.
Grades higher than that are likely beyond rare, as Coin Dealer Newsletter doesn't even list them in the higher grades.
They have the little squigglies.
Yep. Prices dropped considerably after 1936, but coins still sell in the hundreds of dollars for singles from this period.
Yep. 36 and 37 sets are both really tough. Obviously, 36 more so than 37, because that 37 set still has the Buffalo nickel in it, which Once they made that jump to the Jeffersons, the I guess the demand or the mystique of the set starts to go down pretty quick.
Well, like I had previously mentioned, you're talking about Buffalo nickels are some of the most collected coins in circulating grades.
Mm-hmm.
Add to it that it's a proof coin. Now you're really, and then take an extremely low mintage, or as our friend would say, rarer. Then
he's not my friend.
You really are talking about something that is, exceedingly scarce.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that for dancing around that one?
That was good.
Yeah. Lesser quality proof coins of this era can be had for much smaller price tags, but I would suggest sticking with the best quality coins as I believe that they have the best long-term upside.
That's very good advice.
I don't give it much, but when I do. Mintages of proof sets remained under 10,000 sets until 1940 when 11,246 sets were sold. And you'd think that the idea was finally starting to catch on in 1941 when 15,287 were ordered. And 1942 when the Mint sold a whopping 21,230 sets. But America's entry into World War II ended the production of proofs, and the practice would not resume until 1950. Coins were not the only items that suffered this fate, though. The manufacture of many items ceased during World War II and shortly afterward. Automobile production, a booming American industry, something that, at least in my lifetime, we've come to take for granted as constant, wasn't resumed until 1948.
Didn't know that.
Yes. No cars were made between 1941 and 1948.
Interesting.
Some anomalies exist within the 36 to 42 proof sets that make this brief series really interesting. In 1936, the Buffalo nickels and the Lincoln cents were struck in both a satin and a brilliant proof finish. So of the, under 4,000 coins, you have some that are struck one way and some that are struck a different way. And I would imagine that the satin finish ones are rather difficult to discern as proof coins and may very well have been mistaken.
Yeah, they're kind of I've seen the Buffalo nickels before. They're kind of like matte proofs. They're very, very interesting looking coins.
Now in 1938, although there were 2 nickel 5-cent pieces that were struck by the Mint that year, only the newly released Jefferson nickels were struck in proof. In 1940, proof nickels are known with 2 different types of reverses. Type of 1938, type of 1940. During 1941, some proof Walking Liberty halves were coined minus the designer's initials.
There you go.
Yep. And in 1942, 2 types of proof Jefferson nickels were struck in both the 75% nickel, 25% copper content, as well as the silver manganese wartime alloy.
And that set that I picked up has both.
So. Yes. And, with collecting of these classic designs so popular among their circulation strike counterparts and low proof mintages that by today's standards make these coins truly rare, collecting proof coins of the 1936 to 1942 era is a very worthwhile pursuit.
It is. I agree completely.
You're exactly right,
You're
Mike.
Exactly right, Mike.
Well, let's see. We've covered the proof coins of 1936 to 1942, and we've tackled the absolutely enormous task of market grading.
Oh, Lord. That was fun, though.
So that means there's one thing left to do.
Everybody's favorite.
Well, yeah, it is everybody's favorite.
It seems to be everybody's favorite segment.
It's
the one segment that's stuck.
It's the segment that everybody listens for.
Well, I'm very lucky. I consider myself very lucky to be able to handle all sorts of really cool stuff.
And we love hearing about it. So this weekend you were at a show.
I was at a coin show. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now, did the coolest thing walk in via the show?
It did. The coolest thing to walk in this week walked in via a show. So
Cheater.
It's not cheating. It's not cheating. I was still there. It still walked in. I'm not picking something that I went out and bought from another dealer. This is something that walked up to my table and somebody said, "Hey, are you interested in buying coins?" And I said, "Well, of course, I'm at a coin show." So they pulled it out and I was able to buy it. So technically, it walked into my table.
Yes.
So
Coolest thing to walk in Matt's coin table this week is brought to you by.
I bought some really cool stuff at the show. The coolest thing though was and this is going to be really hard to put on the website, so I'll try my hardest. But we bought a complete commemorative $half set.
Complete.
Well, the type set, not by date.
Okay.
But we bought a complete 56 piece commemorative type set.
Now, is this just a silver or silver and gold?
Just the silver.
Okay. That's a lot of coins.
Yeah, 56 pieces, and they were all uncirculated. So
certified?
No, raw and in a book.
Wow.
Which was the coolest part. The lady that sold them to us, her husband had recently passed away, and he was a longtime collector, and she was just walking around the show getting offers on some of the stuff that he had. And I was the best offer, and we ended up buying it. So,
and I would imagine that some of these coins have probably not seen the light of day for many, many years.
Yes. She said that he was a collector for over 40 years. So it's hard to say when the set was put together, but the coins look like they had been in the album for a long time. A lot of them had some haze on them, which is not unusual for the old. It was in an older blue Whitman album
with the sliders in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then 3 of the coins were certified in the old white annex holders. So this is, you're talking coming up on 20 years ago now. And one of the coins was certified with an annex photo grade certificate.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's going back a long time.
Yes. So this set looks like it was put together a long time ago and just stuck in a safe. So I was really, really happy to buy it. The Hawaii $half was in one of the annex slabs. It was an MS-62. The Spanish Trail was raw, but it's definitely uncirculated. And, there was just a lot of other really neat coins. The Gettysburg in this set's absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately for us, though, I am probably going to break this set up and get quite a few of them certified.
Well, logic only dictates that you're going to end up breaking it up.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Well, and the thing is, when it comes to sets, I get this question a lot at the coin shows. Am I better to try to sell something as a set or individually? And the answer is, when it comes to me, I would much rather buy something in a set because it's just easier. I can just rattle through my prices and pop them down. But when it comes to selling them, nobody wants to buy a set that's already done. Half the fun of collecting is the hunt.
Yes.
So we tend to break these sets up and sell them individually to collectors that are putting together their own sets. So it's kind of like recycling.
It would also be a different story if it was a set of PCGS matched MS-66 coins.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
But it's not. This is a set that somebody, meticulously put together and, through their expertise, their luck, and what their paths crossed, managed to put together a set that to them was very nice and, is personally very cool. I would expect nothing less, and I sincerely do not look down on you for, picking out the best coins of them, certifying them, and helping out collectors that are looking to complete high-end certified sets.
Yeah, I think I kind of just ran through the set quickly because we were kind of busy at the show, but I think somewhere around out of the 56 coins, I think we're going to be certifying about 45 of them. Some of the coins were nice and uncirculated, but just common coins that didn't really warrant spending the money to get them certified. So we'll just 2x2 those up and sell them raw, and the rest of the set will go to the plastic factory.
How closely do you think the ones that come back from the plastic factory will match?
They should all match pretty well because they've been in that album for a long time. They do have some haze, so I am going to try to remove some of the haze with acetone, just because a lot of the times when they sit in those old Whitman albums, the plastic sliders sometimes kind of release a little bit of gas, which causes the coins to haze.
Sure.
So I will just make sure that there's nothing on the surface that's hindering the appearance of the coin, and then we'll move them on down the line.
Now, do you think that the majority of the coins are 63 or better?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
the Gettysburg, which, like I said, is a really nice coin. I think that coin's going to certify an MS66. At least I hope it does.
And what do you think is the most valuable coin out of the set?
Even in low grade uncirculated, the Hawaiian $50 is probably the best coin in the set.
That's the king. Get it?
Yep, it is
King.
the King Kamehameha. But yeah, so that was the coolest thing. But I bought, good Lord, I bought so many coins this weekend that it was extremely hard for me just to narrow it down to one really cool one. But,
Well,
just,
and so you
so I
didn't.
didn't. I narrowed it down
Narrowed
to
it down to 56.
56. So I'll try to get some pictures of the set before we get it certified and get them up on the website.
God, I love the Coffin Cats.
It's rocking.
They do. They put a smile on my face every time I play that song.
Every episode, man.
Yep.
I rock out to it in my car sometimes. Just saying.
Do you?
Yep, sure do. Just like they rock out to us in their car. That's how rock stars do it. They rock out to big nerds, and we rock out to rock stars.
And there are none bigger.
Yep. And we rock out to the rock stars. So
We do.
it's weird. It's a paradox.
We would like to thank our contributors to Facebook friends, Twitter followers, or people who follow our blogs, people who wrote to ask questions, or people who have in some other way inspired us. Our thanks to the great folks at the American Numismatic Association for their support. Visit them at money.org. Our thanks to Tony Alvarez and the Tony Alvarez Band for our theme music. Visit him and them at TonyAlvarezBand.com. We'd also like to thank the Coffin Cats, as we often do, for their musical contributions. Visit them at coffincatsrock.com. They're talking about doing another tour. They come by Indianapolis and come rock you out a little bit.
Yeah, you got to see them live. I haven't. I just
did.
got to hang out with them for a little bit.
It was a great show. We'd also like to thank May Otley for her help, and also a big thanks to our intern and research assistant, Sam Schaefer.
I bow down to Sam
He got a
Schaefer.
promotion already.
I bow down
Now,
to Sam Schaefer.
and while those people are important contributors to this show, their importance absolutely pales in comparison to you, the listeners, without whom this entire endeavor would be completely pointless. We love our audience, and we love our audience contributions even more. Tonight we had one from David I wanted to say Matthew McConaughey. All right. Tonight we had one from David McConaughey, who got on Twitter right before our show. We got ready to record, and he interacted with us. And
We're gonna
thumbs up to
interact
David.
with you.
Yes. Send us your thoughts. Email us, Mike at CoinShowRadio, Matt at CoinShowRadio.com. Or you can also ask us questions. Send a question to questions at CoinShowRadio.com.
Yeah, and if we do a segment that you have a question about, just feel free to shoot us an email. We'll elaborate.
Yep. We often get suggestions for some of the ideas that we do and cover in our segments. If it's a great idea, it's a great idea, and you may very well hear it. Because we're always looking for great ideas.
It's hard to think about this stuff all by yourself.
Well, I mean, think about it. We've done 89 episodes.
Yeah.
And we've managed, with a couple of exceptions, to cover something different.
Yeah.
A couple of segments every week. That's not...
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And you can visit our brand new webpage, conveniently located at CoinShowRadio.com. It's an awesome website. And there you'll find all kinds of new things to explore and enjoy. Report what you think back to us. We always welcome your feedback on the new site and what you'd like to see us do there, as well as any other feedback about the show. Made sense when I wrote it. Check out Matt's gallery of the cool stuff that walks into Matt's shop. This week you will find 56. No, you won't find all 56 of them, but you will find some really cool pictures on our website on coinshowradio.com. You can click on Matt's gallery, and you can see some of the cool stuff. He puts that, and you can kind of marvel at some of the stuff that walks in. Feel free to stop by the website and give Matt some feedback. The pictures are spectacular. They're big. They're beautiful. They're in full color. Try not to drool, though, or you might damage your desk, or worse yet, your mobile device. Like our page on Facebook. Come and comment on one of our posts or post something of your own. Just try and keep it coin-related. You can find us either by searching The Coin Show or Coin Show Radio. Follow us on Twitter. You'll occasionally find some exclusive content there as well, as David McConaughey, all right, did tonight. You can find us or even mention us in your discussion. We are at The Coin Show. And we have an Instagram page as well. We're building it every day, and we can be found there as The Coin Show. In the 2 weeks since we started this Instagram account, we have managed to subvert. We have 461 people following us.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is pretty good in 2 weeks.
That's pretty good.
So,
and we're posting all sorts of cool pictures. There were some pictures actually of the Coin Show that I was at, us working. Some behind the scenes stuff from my everyday life.
You can also listen to our show on Spreaker.com. Just go to www.spreaker.com and search Coin Show Radio, or you can find our show on players at various internet sites, such as cointalk.com. If you'd like to host a player on your website, just email me, Mike at coinshowradio.com, for details. We have a Windows 8 app, and it's available in the Windows 8 phone app store. Download it several hundred times, or if you have an Android phone, we have an app for that as well. Download it on Amazon.com for only $1.99. Both are absolute bargains for your entertainment dollar. And as always, our show is available for free on iTunes. You can download full versions of the show there. We urge you to do so and share it with your friends. You know where else you can find our show and where you can download
Where's that?
old episodes? On money.org.
Really?
If you go to money.org and you click on Discover and Getting Started, you will see a link there for Coin Show Radio. And I was playing around on it today, and you can actually go and get old episodes there.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool link that they've set up for us. So you can download full versions of the show there. We urge you to do so. Share the show with your friends. More people continue to find us every single day and wonder why they've never listened before. Be the first among your friends to find the Coin Show. Share it with them, and you'll look smarter because you found this awesome show first. So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show. Okay, that was relatively mediocre.
Stop.
How many of those? Oh yeah, he called it the Kennedy Brothers set yesterday.
My.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We should
it
get him
RFK?
on the show.
Oh, dude, really? Seriously?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you never know.
I would enjoy talking to that feller.
I would enjoy talking to him. I don't think I'd be particularly kind, but
well, you got to be kind to everybody, Mike.
That's true. I try though.
Yes.
I do my very best. Way to commit, Matt.
Yes, sir.
I narrowed it down to 56.
Yes.
My favorite 56.
Let's wrap this.
Yes. Let you go to bed, you crabby old man.